Yes, continuous power failures in a row. Sorry. So we were talking about the features. Where is Ashish? Ashish, Ashish. Okay. Amal, give me one feature, one important feature in that definition. Unmute.
Mm, yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Tell me the definition then. At least read it out. What is so surprising in that? Very funny. Read it out. Read out the definition by AMD.
it's a
Hmm.
significant significant average general intellectual functioning existing concurrently with defects in adaptive behavior and manifested during the developmental period.
Hmm. Okay. Now tell me, what are the important features in that? At least one. There are three features. Among that, one is developmental period from 0 to 18. Then,
Mm,
what are the rest?
Adaptive behavior. Uh,
Maladaptive behavior or lack of or low level of in in not low level of adaptive
ma-
behavior or lack of adaptive behavior. That is one feature. Ashish, what is the next? We didn't get time to find out till now. Tell me, what is the starting of the definition? Switch on your videos, Ashish and Grishma. Okay, tell me. Tell me fast.
Intellectual functioning,
What kind of intellectual function is there for intellectual deficient people or intellectually disabled people?
general, sub average, general,
Sub-average general intellectual functioning. Intellectual functioning will be sub-average. Sub-average means what do you mean by subheading? I'm asking you, Ashish. Subheading. What do you mean by subheading? Tell me.
heading comes under another heading.
A heading, a smaller heading that comes under the main heading, isn't it? So, what would be sub-average?
Hmm. Uh, average coming after another average.
Average coming under another average, which means there will be a main average and sub-average means lower to that. Understood? So,
Yes,
sub-average level of intelligence means the intelligence which is even lower than the average level of intelligence. And what are the categories of those sub-average intelligences? Mild, moderate, severe, profound. Understood now? Clear? So there are three features. The definition is very important. That's why I'm discussing it again and again. Three features. One is very easy for you. Developmental period from 0 to 18. Then another feature is sub-average general intellectual functioning. Then third feature is, what is the third feature?
Deficits in
About the
adaptive behavior.
deficits in adaptive behavior or lack of adaptive behavior or inadaptive behaviors. Okay. Now, giftedness, intellectual giftedness is different from talent, which is a more wider concept, which is a more wider concept. Giftedness or
Fitness.
talent? Giftedness. Giftedness is a more wider concept and more specific concept is talent. And in terms of a teacher or in the perspective of a teacher, What all are the characteristics of a highly gifted child? 3 highs are there. High,
Ability.
high ability. Another person?
High ability,
Ability is already told.
high commitment,
High commitment. Okay. Mehek?
Creative.
High creativity. Okay. High ability, high commitment, high creativity. These are the 3 features. Then we discussed about the features of a gifted child. Yes, regarding attention, logical thinking, critical thinking, independent thinking. Then a new word was there, intrinsic motivation, which means motivation from
Inside.
inside, from internal factors. That means from ourselves, motivation from ourselves. Then anything else? And what do you mean by solitary academic activities? Solitary, solitude. What does that mean?
Work alone for any
Work
academic
alone. Solitary means alone. Okay. Now, yes, that's it. Now, next topic is types of intelligence tests. Do you have any doubt till now? Anyone? Anyone? Do the mime at least, yes or no? I'll have to ask specifically. Grishma, any doubt? Grishma has some connection problem. Ashish, any doubt?
No, ma'am.
No. Meghna?
no ma'am,
Alvina?
No, ma'am.
Sana?
No, ma'am.
Amal?
No, ma'am.
Dayana? Aishwarya?
No, ma'am.
Mehak?
No, ma'am.
I would have called studio room 9 now. Okay. So that's it. Now we move on to the next topic, types of intelligence tests. This is very familiar to you, and I hope this is the most important topic in the chapter. Okay. PC board is opening. Just write down the heading, types of intelligence tests. Types of intelligence tests. How many types do you know? Or you have learned about types of tests, isn't it? In +1 classes. Which all do you remember? Don't look at the text. Just tell me which all do you remember from class 11.
Individual and group.
Individual and group. Yes.
Verbal.
Verbal and
Non-verbal.
verbal and non-verbal. Yes. Then what other type did you learn? Did you learn speed and power tests? Yes. Yes. Okay. That's not there for this chapter. So we start with individual or group tests, then we move on to verbal, non-verbal or performance test, and the last section will be culture fair or culture bias test. Okay, now we'll read. Sana, start reading. Intelligence tests are of
Intelligence tests are of several types. On the basis of the administration procedure, they can be categorized as individual or group tests. They can also be classified as either verbal or performance tests on the basis of the nature of items used. Depending upon the extent to which an intelligence test favors one culture over another, it can be judged as either culture fair or culture based. You can choose
culture biased, not based, biased.
choose a test depending on the purpose of your use.
Okay, enough. So depending on the administration procedure, that is, how do you administer a test? How do you deliver a test to the participant or the subject? Depending on that, you have two categories. What are they?
Individual and group.
Individual test and group test. So what would be individual test? What would be individual test? Tell me from the name itself.
An administrator will take the test to a particular individual.
Particular individual. So what will be a group test, Elvina?
Taking the test with a group of people.
Yes, the participants will be a group of people. Here the participant will be a single person. Or it will be done if it is if we are interested in learning the intelligence of a group of people, then we administer one by one. That is, if I finish administering to Ashish, I'll administer to Sana. And if I finish administering to Sana, then I'll move on to Meghna, like that. But if it is a group test, what will I do? I'll give you the test materials all at once and I will do the testing simultaneously. You all will be doing the task or answering the questionnaire at the same time. Understood? So in which of the two tests, that is in individual test or in group test, we have to build rapport.
Individual.
Aishwarya says individual. What about the rest? I want to hear your voice. Tell me individual or group test. Which one requires more rapport? Unmute and speak.
Individual.
Huh?
Individual.
Individual. Then others. Not decided. Don't know.
Individual.
Individual. Others. Fast, fast. We are running out of time.
Ma'am, individual.
Individual. Then. Raina says
Individual.
individual. Then. Who's remaining now? Sana.
Individual.
Individual. Mehak.
Individual.
Individual. Ashish. You don't know.
I don't know, ma'am.
You don't know. Okay, good. Then tell me I don't know. I won't eat you. Don't worry. The fact is I'm hungry, but I can't virtually eat you. So the more rapport is required for individual tests. Why? Because that particular person is coming to us just like they come for a psychotherapy or they come for a psychology session, isn't it? So we need to build rapport first. We need to build trust in that relationship between the administrator and the person, the participant or the subject. And then we have to administer it. Just like we practiced. We did role plays, right? Last time in +1. Yes, like that we have to build rapport. Then only administer the test. Okay, so that is based on administrative procedure. Now, what is the next category? They can also be classified as either verbal or non-verbal test or performance test on the basis of the nature of items used. Next section is nature of items used. Write that. Based on nature of items used. How are they classified? Verbal, non-verbal, or performance test. It's not necessary that the test contains strictly verbal or strictly non-verbal or strictly performance alone. There can be a mix of all these things. That is, items 1 to 5 might be verbal, then 6 and 7 might be non-verbal, then 7 and 8 might be performance along with verbal. It can come as a combination also. Understood. So what do you mean by verbal items or verbal tests?
There's a use of language.
Use of language or words. So the participant or the subject is supposed to give response in terms of words or that is orally or in written form. And they also need to read and understand certain materials in the test. That is verbal. What is non-verbal? Just the opposite of this. And what is performance test? Performance test.
Subject has to perform a certain activity during the
Yes.
test.
They have to do some task in front of the administrator. That is performance test. Okay. Now what is the next category? Depending upon the extent to which an intelligence test favors one culture over the other. That is the third category or third way in which we classify different intelligence tests. Based on favoring culture. Favoring culture. Favoring one culture over the other. Based on that, this is a new term for you. Culture fair intelligence test and culture biased. What do you mean by a bias? Bias. You are biased towards something. What do you mean by bias?
Interested to something.
More showing more interest towards something. That is one meaning. Then what is the heading? See the heading or see the section? Not there on the board. Favoring culture. So culture bias means it would think.
Favoring their own culture.
Yes, culture bias means it would favor one type of culture as compared to the other. And culture fair means, culture fair test means it would not favor a particular culture. That means it will give similar results or it will not bring in culture bias there. We'll conduct the test or the test is designed in such a way that it is fair for all the cultures. Haven't you heard the statement, everything is fair in love and war? Yes, it is that fair, not the skin fair. Okay. Culture fair means there is no cultural bias for that particular test. Or you can say cultural bias is decreased to so very extent for these culture fair tests. So based on administrative procedure, we divide the test into individual and group tests. Based on nature of items used, we divide the test into verbal, non-verbal performance test. Then based on whether the test favors a particular culture over the other, based on that fact, we divide it into culture fair and culture bias test. Clear? Okay, now we'll see each of them in detail. Mehak, please read. I was stuck. Grishma, read that first paragraph, individual or group test. It's a very easy topic. Please listen.
Individual or group test. An individual intelligence test is one which can be administered to one person at a time. A group intelligence test can be administered to several persons simultaneously. Individual tests require the test administrator to establish a rapport with the subject and be sensitive to her or his feelings, moods,
Underline.
and expressions during the testing session. Group tests, however, do not allow an opportunity to be familiar with the subject's feelings. Individual tests allow people to answer orally or in a written form or manipulate objects as per the tester's instructions. Group tests generally seek written answers, usually in a multiple choice format.
Multiple choice format. Usually, the group tests are given in a multiple choice format, because we don't have much time to engage all the people in a certain activity of intelligence test. Like cognitive assessment test. Who developed that? Cognitive assessment system. CAS.
JP Das.
And
Nagliri.
Nagliri. Okay. So they developed the cognitive assessment system, and that is a battery of tests, which means there are so many tests included in that. Like that, if we are suppose in a situation we are administering that to hundreds of people. Just imagine how that will be. How many days would that take? The test itself has so many subtests, and it takes a lot of time to finish all these subtests. So can we actually build rapport for each and every person in this 100 lot and then administer the test? Will it be easy? Will it be economical? No. Will it be practical enough? Not again. So what happens? We will choose some people, then we'll do the individual testing. Understood? So for group test, one advantage is that it's very time efficient. Individual test is time consuming. That is one difference that is not given here. Then, yes, if you are supposed or if you're asked to write the differences between an individual test and group test, you can write based on administrative procedure. That is, if it is given to a particular individual, then it is called individual test. If it is given to a group of individuals, then it is called group test. That is one major difference that you can write. Then you have the rapport building difference, then about the time, then about the types of tasks or activities that is given. In group test, it will be more of multiple choice questions. Whereas in individual test, it can vary from the big puzzle task or the question answers, then the written form or design or pattern recognition, all those. Understood? Easy, right? Individual or group test. Next one is verbal, non-verbal, and performance test. Who will read? Mehek?
Verbal, non-verbal, or performance. Agent tests may be fully verbal, fully non-verbal, or fully performance-based, or it may consist of a mixture of items from each category. Verbal tests require subjects to give verbal responses either orally or in a written form. Therefore, verbal tests can be administered only to literate
people. That is one disadvantage of verbal test. It can be administered only to literate people. If the subject does not know how to read or how to write, which means they are illiterate, then we cannot administer verbal test to them. Understood? Because they might interpret that in some other way, or they might not be able to read and understand what that question means. So again, that is a failure. So verbal test, one disadvantage is that you can administer that only to literate people. Okay, continue.
Illustrations and items. Raven's progressive matrices test is an example of non-verbal test.
Underline. Raven's progressive matrices. It's a famous test in psychology, RPM. It is known as RPM. Raven's progressive matrices. Okay, continue. That is an example of test. That is non-verbal test. Then did she leave? Raina, continue.
Raven's progressive matrices test is an example for non-verbal test. In this test, the subject examines an incomplete pattern and chooses a figure from the alternative is that will complete the pattern, and specimen item from RPM is given in the figure 3.1.
1.3. Okay.
Mm.
So see that it's like a wall, right? That main picture, main figure given on top. And you have how many options? 6 options. So this is like an example of the test that you do in RPM. That top part will be given along with 6 options or how many options depending on the various editions. The options varies. So what happens? You have to choose from these options which one will correctly fit into that blank space. Which one do you think?
4.
Yes, option 4. More or less visible. Yes, self-descriptive, right? So the fourth one will fit into that. Similarly, you will have so many designs and patterns and pictures in Raven's progressive matrices, which is RPM. And that is what kind of intelligence test?
Non-verbal.
Non-verbal intelligence test. Okay. Now, third one is, why is it non-verbal, by the way?
There's no use of language.
Hmm?
No use of language.
No use of language. There is no need of any kind of verbal description from the part of participant. Like she or he doesn't have to answer in terms of words. Those who can't speak also can answer this, isn't it? You can just point out to the correct option. So that's why it is non-verbal. Now, one practical application question might be asked from this question. Like, there is a boy named Sam. Or there is an elderly person called Sam, and this person is illiterate. He has come to a psychologist for a test for getting his intelligence tested, and there are so many tests with him. So which test will you choose among these? Based on what will you choose?
Non-verbal.
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 What about performance? As you like. We'll see what performance and we'll come back to the question. Meghna, read.
Performance tests require subjects to manipulate objects and other materials to perform a task. Written language is not necessary for answering the items. For example, cost block design test contains a number of wooden blocks. The subject is asked to arrange the blocks within time period to produce a given design. Major advantage of performance tests is that they can be easily administered to persons from different cultures.
Okay. The performance test, one example given there is course block test. Underline that. Course block is similar to the building blocks that you have played at, during your childhood. But it's not like the puzzle part, but there'll be blocks or cubes. And different colors will be given, different patterns will be given on each side of the cube. Usually it is, I think, red, white, blue, yellow, all those colors are there. Okay. And what you have to do is there will be patterns or designs in the booklet. So the administrator or the person who is conducting the test, that person will ask you to construct this design. They'll show a design and they'll ask you to construct a design. So the person has to construct that design. That's it. It's very simple, but not as simple as you think because the designs are pretty complicated. So again, coming back to our question, what will we do? Remember, Sam is an elderly person. He is illiterate. So which one will you apply? Verbal, non-verbal, or this one, performance?
Performance.
Why?
Because you can use that course block, like building blocks.
If Sam is very old, will he be able to handle all those blocks?
No.
No. Then which will be better for him?
Non-verbal.
Non-verbal. Again, why?
Because he's illiterate.
Because he is illiterate. So the only option that we are left with is non-verbal. So when you get a practical application question, think of the advantages and disadvantages of all the tests. Then only apply it. Okay. I told you, remember, I don't know which chapter we did this. There was something like this lying on the floor. One man was standing here. One man was standing here. Remember? And from his point of view, what is there on the floor? What is there on the floor? 6. And from his point of view, what is there on the floor?
9.
9. So we have to look from both these perspectives to understand a concept. Similarly, when you get a practical application question, then just when you see the terms and all, you'll be so excited to answer it. But understand that concept, go into its depth, then find out what are the simple tricks and acts inside it, then only apply it. Okay. And just think in this way, how can this question or how can my answer go wrong? Why, like if you are the teacher, how can the teacher, in what all ways can the teacher mark this answer as wrong? Then you will automatically get to the correct answer. Okay. So that's it. Understood verbal, non-verbal performance? Yes, in verbal, use of words are there. Non-verbal, they are not there. Performance, you have to perform a task. Clear, right? Now the next one. Quickly, culture fair and culture biased. We'll read. Elvina. Elvina already read? No. Yes or no?
Today?
Yeah, today.
No.
No, then read.
Culture fair or culture bias test. Intelligent test can be culture fair or culture biased. Many intelligent tests show a bias to the culture in which they are developed. Tests developed in America and Europe represent an urban and middle class cultural ethos. Hence, educated middle class white subjected generally perform well on those tests. The items do not respect the cultural perspectives of Asia and Africa. The norms for this test are also drawn from Western cultural groups. You may be already familiar with the concept of norms discussed in class +1. It is nearly impossible to design a test that can be applied equally meaningfully to all cultures. Psychologists have tried to develop tests that are culture fair or culturally appropriate. That is, one that does not discriminate against individuals belonging to different cultures. In such tests, items are constructed in a manner that the assess experiences common to all cultures or have questions in which language usage is not required. Nonverbal and performance tests help reduce the cultural bias usually associated with verbal tests.
Yes. So usually these non-verbal and performance tests, they come under the category of culture fair tests. Yes, come back to Raven's progressive matrices, RPM. There, if you show this figure to an American child and an Indian child, who wanted to go to America in our lifespan journey? Amal, right? Wasn't it Amal? Yes. And we studied lifespan perspective. Amal was going to America, right? Or was it during acculturation? Somewhere or the other, you wanted to go to America, and you told me that you wouldn't be wearing your this thing, chandanam, isn't it? Yes. So, imagine Amal, you were born and brought up in America. Okay. Okay. And which option will you choose from the 6? Figure 1.3 RPM. Which one will you choose from all these 6? Unmute.
Ma'am, which one? Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 options are given. Which
Uh,
one, which piece will you select to fit into that blank?
Ma'am, 4.
4. Okay. Now, who would stay in India? As of now, I should stay in India. No going to South Korea. Tell me, which one will you choose?
The fourth one.
The fourth one. So that is quite culture fair, right? So if you apply to one African child also, not selecting anyone. If you apply the same thing to an African child also, then what will happen? They are also likely to choose option 4, more likely to choose option 4. So again, that is also culture fair. So if it is culture biased, see, there is some kind of a word that is specific or that is known only to the Americans. Or we have, what will you eat for lunch? That is the question. And you have options. Just listen the question. What will you eat for lunch? That is one question in the test. Just tell me if this is culture fair or culture biased when I finish asking. Okay. And one option is, shall I erase everything on the board? Okay. One option is, option 1 is pasta. One option is burger. Okay. And the third option is, okay, totally. And I am showing this to an American child. Now tell me, is this culture fair or culture biased? The question is, what would you have for lunch or breakfast or dinner, supper, whatever, brunch, whatever it be? What would you like to have? And these are the options. And I am applying this to an American, to a group of American children. Let it be. Will it be culture fair or culture biased? Or is the test culture fair or culture biased?
Biased.
Tell me.
Culture biased.
Culture biased. What did Mehak tell me?
Same.
Biased. Same. Anyone who's standing for culture fair? No. Okay. Why did you say that this is culture biased? Okay. You all are born and brought up in India, right? Or at least?
First option seems to be European and the last option.
Okay. One is Italian, one is European, one is Indian. Isn't it? Yes? Agree? I'm hungry now. Okay. So what is the point I'm trying to make is, as Indians, you know what a pasta is? Everybody? Anybody who does not know what pasta is? Ashish, you know what pasta is? Yes. You know what a burger is? Very much. Then you know what a roti is? Again, very much, isn't it? Yeah. So you, as Indians, you might know all these things, but as Americans, is it necessary that they know about this thing? No. If I'm writing banana fritters here, banana fritters, will they understand? Did you understand what they are? What are banana fritters? Banana fritters. Tell me, tell me.
The fried ones, right?
Ah, fried ones. What are they? Tell me the name. Hey, what are banana fritters? Tell me.
Reddish.
I didn't expect that. Yeah, that's correct. What is it? Once more, Elvina?
Reddish.
Yeah, that's commonly known to everyone. So if I put that name also here, will the Americans understand? Will they understand? No. Again, this is culture. Fair or biased? Did you switch off the video to go and laugh? So many videos are switched off. So did you understand what are culture fair and culture biased? Yes? Yes or no? Amal is still confused. If some kind of cultural influences come or they arise when we do the test, or it is based on the options, that is, if it is based on some particular culture, then that means that particular test is culture biased, culturally biased. It is biased towards a particular culture. Then, if it is culture fair, then it is applicable to most of the cultures, to people in most of the cultures. That is how you differentiate it. And norms. Do you remember what norms were? Based on your age group, based on your culture group, we create a set of values. And this, just like we created a table, refer to page number 11, table 1.1. We have classification of IQ, right? So for that also, for intelligence test, this is a general value. For each intelligence test, we have different norms. For Indian intelligence test, we have different norms. For American group, we have different norms. Because it varies from place to place. Because the education that we get here and the education that we get there is comparatively different. So it might be different from a different country. It might be different from a different state also. Okay, something that is applicable in North India might not be applicable in South India. So for that group also, for those cultural groups also, we need to have certain norms. Norms are of different types. Based on culture, we have norms. Based on age group, we have norms. Based on gender, we have norms. I will study later. But as of now, understand the norms are created based on different factors, and among that, one is culture. Understood? Clear? So culture fair and culture biased test. So we have learned about 3 categories of test. One is based on administration. That would be individual or group test. Now you tell me, I'm tired of speaking. Who will tell? Amal. Tell me, whatever we learned, just tell me the names. Individual and group test that I already told. Then.
Individual and group test, verbal, non-verbal performance test, culture fair and culture bias test.
Okay. Clear, right? Any doubt? Okay. Now, I'm giving you an assignment. Not assignment, a small homework. The next section is intelligence testing in India. Just a small portion is there. Read that portion. Write down the main points and come. Okay. Just read up that portion and write down the main points. That's it. Okay. I'm winding up the class. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.